So maybe you can't relate to 499 transactions in one year like my man Andrew Undem did last year, but I'll tell you what they can relate to, Andrew. Every single person started somewhere. And what I want to do today is we're going to go through and we're going to talk about the foundational things, maybe 3 or 4, that you did when you started that helped put the momentum in your business that's led to all the success. This is one you're not going to want to miss. All right, Andrew, you know you're my boy. This is what I love doing, though. I love coming in here and actually spending some time. By the way, y'all, we were trying to get Ryan Serhant. We couldn't get him. We got the Walmart version.
That's right. That's what I'm known on TikTok as. Discount Ryan Serhant coming at you.
Nobody looks more like him than you. But what we're going to do today, and what I'm really excited about is most people can't relate to some of the successes that they see with the large teams. I can remember when I was first starting out, I was like, you know what? I don't know that I can relate to somebody that's doing that amount of business. So what we want to do is we want to go back and say, what were the things you did foundationally? Because I don't care if somebody's brand new in the business. I don't care if they're at a place they've been in it 10 years and they want to take it to the next level.
Right.
There's some foundational things you did when you started that'll really carry over to really just take that momentum to the next level. Let's start with a few things. You get into the business, what's the first thing you want to do? And that you did?
The first thing I did, and this wasn't that long ago, and I want to tell everyone, you should have an unrealistic expectation of how much business you can do. So it's all in your mindset. But the first thing I did, Jimmy, was I wanted to make sure everybody knew, everyone I knew, I needed them to know that I was a serious real estate professional and that I could help them in a way that wasn't too salesy. Like, hey, I'm a realtor, use me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of what everyone does. If you see what your competition's doing, if the swaths of people are doing it, you kind of want to do the opposite.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So you got to let people know what you're doing. Yeah. And a couple tactics on that was, this was 2010, no, 12. I had 3 years of new construction under my belt. So I was a salesperson, I had a little bit of experience, but even if you didn't have that, you don't need it per se. I went on Facebook Messenger and every green dot I saw,
meaning they were on Facebook
They were on Facebook at that time. I sent them a message. And it was kind of generic, but also customizable. Mm-hmm. So I had this thing that would say, hey, Jimmy, it's been a while. Looking forward to catching up. I just joined, at the time it was Remax, but you could say, I just joined the #1 Berkshire Hathaway team in my market. Here's some of the things we do to bring value. Hope to catch up soon. Insert personalization message. Thanks so much, Andrew Undem. Here's my cell phone and new email.
That's right.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. How many did you do a day, would you say?
Every person who was green, every person, they got the message. And every other day, there'd be new people on there. So day 1, 150 messages go out. I'm starting two-way conversations, which is just, hey, I'm here to help you. Remember that time we did that crazy thing at the basketball game? Insert personal message. The two-way conversations were off the charts.
Yeah.
That alone, Jimmy, I think I sold 36 to 42, I forget the number, deals my first year. I didn't have a CRM, I didn't have a website, and I was still learning the game. Mm-hmm. That's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely, it was good. And so give us an idea, what did some of those conversations, I mean, look, everybody's not gonna respond.
Right.
Were there any that stood out or anything that jumped out or something? Maybe there was that one person that said, you know what, I got this referral for you, or it was like lightning in a bottle, some of those things.
Relatively consistently, I'd say 1 out of 10. 10% of the people, because these are people, they like you and you like them. Mm-hmm. And it's like, look, I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm just saying, this is what I'm doing now. Here's my new email. Here's a couple things we do. I'd say 1 out of 10 said, hey, my mom's going to sell her house. I know you're going to be great at this. They were supportive because I'm talking to people who already knew, liked, and trusted me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they knew I was probably a relatively good salesperson and I was serious about it.
Yeah.
And I said, these are the serious things we can do to help you. Yeah. Check out my website. Dude, we're doing incredible things in the real estate game. We're trying to change the game up.
Yeah, this is great. And listen, that was 2010. You still have green lights on Facebook as far as I know.
It's easier now.
It is easier now because now you've got Instagram, you've got LinkedIn, you've got all of these different platforms. It's really easy with all the connections we have to really make sure that everybody knows what you're doing and really just add value. The bottom line is give them something of value. You know, mention some of the things like Andrew said that you're doing or that you do differently or that your company does differently. Just add a little bit of value, start the conversation. They want to help you. Most of your, I mean, if you're out there and you're adding value to people, they're going to want to help. So that's a great way, making sure we let everybody know that we're doing those things. What else did you do to just jumpstart everything?
Well, I was desperate to bring value to other business people in the community. Like, I'm trying to be a business person here. And we happen to sell residential real estate. And one of the beautiful things about this business is everyone needs shelter. Everyone needs housing. I don't care if it's a rental, a house, a sale, a short-term rental. I will help anybody and try to do it as best as I possibly can. Because if you treat that person like a human, they're going to refer you. This is a person who you can have a walking, talking billboard to.
Yeah.
And not just clients, the other business people. So I would find other business people in the community and say, hey, if there's ever anything I can do to help you, we have a real estate company in the city. Here's some of the things we do. Can I help you with your marketing? Is there anything I can do for your people? Is there anything that you see that we do that we might be able to help you? And even if they say no, they appreciate it. They say, hey, that guy's hustling.
Yeah.
He's for real.
Yeah. Let me give you one thing that we're seeing right now, adding value to people.
Yes.
If you're coming into this, and some of the folks that are in the business, or they've come from a different marketplace, or they're whatever it is, the things that you've done to have success, whether that be personally or in another business, or even in school. I mean, some of these people that are coming, these young people coming out of school, they're great with social media. Imagine going to the local little, I'm going to just use this, flower shop in your area, and just basically saying, hey, I noticed that I'm getting into the business, new to real estate. What I'd love to do is, I'd love to send you, I've seen some of the things that you're doing, love to send you a few social media graphics that might help your business. Love for you to keep me in mind in case you know someone. You take some photos outside that shop, you do a few things, you're there, you go into their shop and you take a picture of roses and whatever other type of flowers and say, which would you prefer for February 14th or for Valentine's Day? And you post that up there and have it where you tag them in there. The value you can bring to local businesses, if you've got any intellect right now on social media or with photography or video, right now we're killing it with going in, interviewing those local. We were having this conversation yesterday with one of the best brand minds I know.
Hands down.
And he says, what was it he said about interviewing those folks?
If I could go back and do it again, this is a great point. We were talking about a guy who grew a multi-million dollar brand, and he did it all on the back of the simple philosophy of civic pride. We're kind of in this world where there's a lot of negative news and that gets the clicks, and we all know that. But you don't see many people walking around wearing a Fox hat or a CNN hat, because it's just, people don't want to be associated with toxicity all the time.
Right.
I would build a platform where it was all about all the positive things, civic pride, about how great it is to live here. And it doesn't have to be your whole city. Like, I live in a town called Bel-Air, Maryland. It's half an hour north of Baltimore. I'm going to go back and do this now.
Yeah.
I'm 12 years in, but I'm ready to say, hey, this is why this town is awesome. Here's all the fun things going on. Here's what's going on with the local schools. The parents are involved over here. Hey, we got a new state champ over here. And just tell those stories, because that's the community of people who live, and people want to be associated with positive things. So day one, I'd start doing that. Hey, this is where I live. This is why we love it here. It's nothing about real estate. I mean, I guess maybe a sprinkle in the fact. They'll find out.
They will.
They say, who's doing this? Who's talking about all the awesome businesses and the people helping other people and the things we can be talked about? And people like to share that information, Jimmy.
Yeah.
And when you do that for other people, you create fans for yourself.
Absolutely. And this is the thing is especially when you get very local with your business.
Hyper local.
Yeah, when you get hyper local with your business and shopping local and sharing local, all of a sudden now you become the resource and you're top of mind, because people don't forget it when you do something for them. If you're doing something for someone, they won't ever forget it. So great foundational point. You were doing that. Everybody does it differently. There's so many different ways to do it now.
Yes.
So we've talked about when you first started, you want to make sure everybody knew that. You wanted to add value to other businesses in here. What else did you do to really jumpstart everything?
Well, the one thing I was just such a student of the game. So you got to make sure you take time to really learn this business. There's a lot of things you need to learn to become a good realtor, a good real estate agent. You need to know these contracts inside and out. You need to know the process inside and out. Everyone wants to talk about the marketing and get attention here and let everyone know you know that you're an agent, and that's important. You have to. They say without promotion, something terrible happens, Jimmy.
Yeah. What is that?
Nothing.
That's exactly right.
Okay. P.T. Barnum said that. It's a great quote. Without promotion, something terrible happens. Nothing.
That's right.
So you got to promote, but you also have to be really good. And I think one of the things I excelled at was I was just so dialed into learning everything I possibly could about being a real estate agent.
Right.
The contracts, the financing addendums, the well, the septic, the jurisdictional addendums. I read it and read it and read it. And I didn't understand 60% of what I was reading, so I'd go find somebody, a mentor. So that's the third thing. You got to have someone who's helping you. And you got to be willing to ask for help and just admit, I don't know what this means. But pay attention, because when someone teaches you, you'll never have to ask that question again, and then you just own it.
Yeah.
Now I want people to ask me about it, because I know, because Jimmy told me.
That's right. Yeah.
So I was good at that.
Yeah, and there were some practical things, as I remember, also that you did with open houses things. Was there something in particular that you did?
Well, I did 4 open houses every weekend.
That's all? Yeah.
Yeah, every weekend.
Yeah. How would you do that? What did that practically look like? Because when you say 4 open houses, people are like, well, gosh, you've only got 2 days. How did you do those?
Well, I did it from 11 to 1 and 1:30 to 2:30, or no, 1:30 to 3:30, 2-hour windows. 11 to 1, 1:30 to 3:30, every Saturday, every Sunday. And I came from a world where I worked a new home model. That was my job. 7 days a week, I sat in a finished model home and sold new homes. And to this day, Jimmy, when people aren't doing open houses and they don't realize the opportunity, and we talked about that, I think that's something we all could focus on. But if you're new, you gotta let everyone know what you're doing. Find ways to bring value to other people. Get in the game, and an open house is a great way. And make sure you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And spend the time to make sure you know what you're doing. I think some of the agents' population could miss that. And I think it gives some of us a bad name and gives the public a bad taste.
Yeah.
But the good ones are unbelievably valuable to the economy, to the system, to their clients. And people know that.
Yeah, don't overthink. If you're wanting to take your business to the next level, find some basic things. Andrew found what they were for him. That's the model that works extremely well. But listen, if there's one of those that maybe it's just not your thing, find something else. 3 to 4, 5 basic things you're doing, and your business can't help but grow. Hope this has been helpful, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. I specifically chose the video below for you because it builds on the one you just watched. I hope it's helpful, and I'll talk to you soon.